Now, with the continuing coverage of the outrage and tragedy in California, criminal defense attorney, former prosecutor of Morris County, New Jersey, who tried terrorism cases, Robert Bianchi, is back with us. Bob, when do you think authorities will be able to finally pin down and release what they believe the motive for this will be?
Very difficult to tell, Eric. I think there's going to be a considerable period of time, maybe many weeks until we know, at a minimum. I'm very interested in the third guy or the third person they have there. They have him an awful long time that they're asking him questions. And if that investigation leads to the point where there's other people that are involved, they're not going to give us any data or any information. They have to. There's data dump going on right now with the law enforcement authorities. They got to collate all that information. They got to make sure they dot I's, cross T's, and I can tell you from firsthand experience, on less significant cases than that, it can take weeks to months until that's done correctly, if they're going to do it correctly.
And if they don't find anything, let's say they don't find any radical jihadist stuff or anything like that, and this turns out to be something that he stocked up and decided to strike back for some reason. You know, when could we know that? Well,
I think that when they're downloading the computers and they're doing the electronic footprint, they may very well get something very quickly that's going to tell them that this was not an act of terrorism. Then you'll know sooner. But if it's something that's leading them to the conclusion that there's other people involved or this may be more significant, like terrorism, it's going to take many weeks.
And finally, what do you think will happen?
I think that based on the GoPros, based on the baby, based on the husband and wife doing this, the manner in which they were prepared, certainly as a prosecutor and as an investigator person that would look into something like this, I think there's much more behind the scene and other people that are potentially involved in it. And I think they're going to take it very seriously to see who those individuals are for the protection of the community and to make sure there's not a more global or widespread criminal enterprise that's out there.
Robert, 30 seconds. What's your take on the report that there was a neighbor that saw people coming in and out, Middle Eastern men with boxes? She failed to call police because she was afraid of being accused of guilty of racial profiling.
I don't want to fault the lady. I mean, she has her own reasons why she did what she did, but what you got to look at is behavior. We cannot lose the rule of reason. We want to be fair. We don't want to target people. We don't want to be prejudiced. But if you see something like that that's going on and behavior it's suspicious, you've got to call law enforcement.
If you see something, say something that affects all of us after this horrendous shooting attack in our country that has shocked us all. Robert Bianchi, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you, Robert.
And folks at home, thank you for staying with us.